Get ready for one of the hottest days of the summer so far. I'll show you how many communities could see record heat today.
Easy, easy.
Also breaking here at noon, Lee County deputies releasing this new body camera video showing the arrest of a man after a domestic situation. We'll tell you where this happened and what LCSO is saying this afternoon. And a family in Collier County is mourning the loss of their son who drowned. We'll explain more as the family just moved in to their new home.
No, we just want to talk to you, man. Dad, can you just come outside for me? Easy, easy.
Breaking news here at noon, you're watching Lee County deputies arrest a man who actually barricaded himself in a garage for quite some time after being accused of domestic violence. Thanks so much for counting on Gulf Coast News here on this Monday. I'm Elise Chingari. So this situation happened along Angelica Drive, and deputies say 56-year-old Michael Wilson, who you see here, they say he assaulted someone on Saturday, then ran from the house. Deputies say Wilson returned to the house and barricaded himself inside the garage. We spoke with a woman on Saturday night who described what she saw with this scene.
Nothing transpired, no gunfire or anything like that. They asked him to come on out, come out peacefully. They wanted him to come out peacefully. They kept talking to him, and finally he came out.
LCSO says they found several guns in Wilson's garage as well. Wilson is now facing domestic battery charges. More breaking news on this Monday. Lee County deputies announce a new number related to Operation Sunburn. A lot of people arrested. There's massive amounts of drugs that were seized and more than $70,000 recovered. LCSO says the investigation spanned for several months, targeting poison pushers and other criminals on our streets. LCSO says 60 arrests were made in total. Nearly 3,800 grams of fentanyl seized. You can see here on your screen over 1,800 grams of cocaine, more than 1,100 grams of meth seized, 23 guns were removed, and 3 vehicles seized as well. Well, just into our newsroom, a federal judge just ruled that Planned Parenthood clinics nationwide, well, they must continue to be reimbursed for Medicaid funding. This comes as the nation's largest abortion provider is fighting President Trump's effort to defund the organization. A provision in one of the new bills instructs the federal government to end Medicaid payments for 1 year to abortion providers that received more than $800,000 from Medicaid in 2023. Again, that's breaking. We'll stay on top of it this Monday. And President Trump says he's planning to shorten the 50-day deadline that he gave President Putin to reach a deal to end this war in Ukraine. The president says he would give Putin 10 to 12 days from today instead. So this means he wants peace efforts to make progress between August 7th to the 9th. This comes as the Ukrainian Air Force said Russia fired overnight at Ukraine. The president said 2 weeks ago that he would put severe tariffs on Russia unless a peace deal is reached by early September. From your Collier County News team, a family in Golden Gate is mourning after their 5-year-old son drowned in a pond there. 5-year-old Jalen Santaline is autistic and was reported missing, as we reported on Saturday. We're told the boy took off as his family was moving into their new apartments there on Magnolia Pond Drive. Gulf Coast News reporter Kennedy Mason is in Golden Gate, where another person drowned in this same community just last year.
Today, a family is grieving after the Collier County Sheriff's Office found their 5-year-old autistic nonverbal boy's body at this apartment complex's pond. The Sheriff's Office says the family was moving into the Everly apartments on Saturday. That's when the family noticed their little boy, Jalen Santaline, was missing. CCSO says the family searched their home and the surrounding area. Then they called 911. CCSO searched by air and on the ground. Deputies found Jalen's body yesterday morning in a pond near the family's home. This isn't the first time someone has drowned at the Everly apartment complex. Last May, a 48-year-old father drowned as he tried to save his 4-year-old son, who also is nonverbal with autism. That boy did survive. Experts say children with autism are more attracted to the water. Experts recommend getting children with autism swimming lessons and adding extra locks to your doors.
nearly half of children on the autism spectrum disorder will go missing at some point in their life. From a 10-year span of 2014 to 2023, we had over 2,700 children with autism who were reported missing.
And a great resource for those who take care of children with autism is the Collier County Sheriff's Office Autism Support Program. It provides training for first responders and education for caregivers and parents. You can find more information on that on our Gulf Coast News app. In Collier County, Kennedy Mason, Gulf Coast News.
Kennedy, thank you. Now, this drowning in Collier County is not the only one in this past year. One happened over the winter involving a 7-year-old at an apartment complex in Fort Myers. Then back in December, a boy drowned in a retention pond at the Town Treeline Apartments. Braylon Stacco was with an adult when he got through a garage door and went into the pond. Now, when officers arrived, someone tried doing CPR on the boy, but he wasn't able to make it. Florida leads the nation in drowning deaths among children ages 1 to 4. So if you or someone you know has children who are possibly vulnerable and tend to wander, a local organization says you should have what's called a scent kit. So if you're not familiar with this, you may remember this video we showed you last week. It's how Lee County deputies found a 13-year-old boy who wandered away from his house. The boy was walking along State Road 82. We're told he's also nonverbal. Thankfully, he's now back at home safe. But United Ways says scent preservation kits are tools that become crucial in these emergency situations.
It's not up to the individual who's going to be frantic in that moment to provide that information about their loved one that's missing. They'll already have that. And they'll also have a photo of the person, which is also a critical piece of information. So from dispatch, that information can be sent right away out to the squad cars, so you can have multiple eyes looking for that person faster, sooner rather than later.
Scent kits are free, so how can you get them? Well, you can register online in the county that you live in. United Way works with Lee, Hendry, and Glades County Sheriff's Offices. We have a link right there on your Gulf Coast News app. So what do you need to do if your child ever goes missing? There's a number of steps to consider. Now, according to the Office of Justice and Delinquency Prevention, in the first 24 hours, immediately report your child missing. Also, limit who comes in and out of your house until law enforcement collects evidence that they need. Make sure you give investigators the information they need and make sure you stay in contact with them. Write a detailed description of your child when asking others for information. It may help to try to find them. Lastly, make a list of people who may have been around your child. They very well could have a good amount of information. Also, make sure you have a clear photo of your child as well. That's so important. Well, today officially marks 7 years since Fort Myers police officer Adam Jobbers Miller died. After fighting for his life following a shooting in the line of duty, Jobbers Miller died on July 28th of 2018. So a week prior, he was responding to a call at a gas station on MLK Boulevard when a suspect grabbed the officer's gun and shot him with it. As we know, the community came together to donate much-needed blood to the officer. Now, the Fort Myers Fire Department now has a new training facility for firefighters and new recruits. The facility is on Veronica S. Shoemaker Boulevard. The fire department and the city held a ribbon-cutting ceremony this morning to mark this occasion. The training field is meant to enhance firefighter safety.
So our staff is just extremely elated about this, as well as the whole Southwest Florida fire community, because this will be a new place for actually us to be able to strive to be as excellent as possible.
About $2.6 million was spent to build the new training facility. It's designed to replicate real-life situations that firefighters face every day. 3 drivers, well, they were hurt in a pretty serious crash that closed US 41 for more than 12 hours in Fort Myers. The crash happened along US 41 around 5 o'clock on Sunday night. This scene, well, it stretched from Edison Avenue all the way to Victoria Avenue. You're looking at the scene here, a car right on its side. The scene wasn't clear until just before 6 o'clock this morning. 3 cars were involved in this crash. Fort Myers Police Department says the cars were speeding in the northbound lanes. We did speak with someone nearby who ran outside after hearing this crash.
I thought somebody was doing a burnout, and then I walked out and I seen a bunch of smoke. I seen a wheel literally fly, probably like 6 feet in the air.
Again, officers say those cars were speeding there. Fort Myers police say 2 of the drivers were taken to the hospital as trauma alerts. It's also unclear if anyone died from this crash or if anyone's facing charges today. We here at Gulf Coast News will keep you updated. A child and an adult were injured in a serious boating crash in Punta Gorda on Saturday. FWC says the boat crashed into a concrete piling near Alligator Creek just after 9 o'clock Saturday night. 5 people were on board at the time. Emergency crews, they had to set up a landing zone for helicopters at Ponce de Leon Park, while other officials responded from Lashley Marina. We spoke with people who saw this scene unfold.
I called the non-emergency line and just asked if we have anything to be worried about being so close, and they said, no ma'am, there is a severe medical emergency. And so I then knew that, something bad had happened.
FWC continues to investigate this boating crash. And FWC is also investigating a boat fire that sparked in Turtle Bay on Saturday. Take a look at this scene. Charlotte County Public Safety, Matt Lachey firefighters, and other agencies had to rush out on the water to try to put this out. Matt Lachey firefighters say they were able to put the fire out in roughly 10 minutes. Now, FWC says 2 people were on board at the time. They actually jumped into the water to escape this fire. A fire captain says that was the right call for them to make.
If you are in deep water and the wind and the smoke is blowing your direction, if you can get out of the direction of the smoke, or if the vessel's drifting towards you, try to get away from it and then stay with your vessel.
The boaters were pulled to safety. One of them had to be treated for minor injuries. As a reminder today, it's important to make sure that you have a fire extinguisher and enough life jackets when you head out on your boat.
Just having the support of the class and the instructors has helped me a lot.
Well, next here at noon, if you're dealing with any chronic conditions, would you ever think that cooking could possibly be a cure? We'll explain how some doctors are making this happen next. Lauren?
This could end up as one of the hottest days of the year so far. Most communities are feeling like the triple digits. I'll show you how close we'll get to record heat.